Do you ever feel like you're watching your life happen from the sidelines? Like you're stuck on autopilot, same habits, same excuses, same silent promise that I'll start tomorrow? But here's the truth. Tomorrow is a lie. And if you don't take control now, you'll look back at the end of this year, asking yourself, what the hell happened? Now imagine this. Just 30 days from today, you wake up and don't recognize your old self. In the best way possible. You're focused. You're energized. You're moving with purpose. No, this isn't some overhyped self-help fantasy. This is a reset. A real one. And it only takes 30 days. Why 30? Because science shows us something powerful. 30 days is the sweet spot where habits are born, momentum builds, and identity begins to shift. It's short enough to feel possible, but long enough to completely rewire your life. And that's what this video is about. Not surface level change, but full system transformation. Mental clarity, emotional discipline, physical energy. Purpose so sharp it cuts through every excuse. This isn't about tweaking your routine. It's about becoming unrecognizable to your past self in the best damn way. So, if you've ever whispered to yourself, I know I'm meant for more, this is your sign. You've got 30 days to become who you're supposed to be, or regret it by 2025. Let's begin. You might think 30-day challenges are just a trend, another internet buzzword, a hashtag with good intentions and short-lived hype. But the truth is, this idea has ancient roots. Long before Instagram and accountability apps, humans understood the power of focused effort. Monks followed 30-day disciplines. Warriors trained in cycles. Even philosophers journaled daily for a month at a time. They didn't need a template. They knew that real transformation begins with consistency, not perfection. In 1960, a plastic surgeon named Maxwell Maltz made a curious observation. After performing surgeries, he noticed his patients took around 21 days to mentally adjust to their new appearance. That number stuck. Soon, it morphed into a global myth. It takes 21 days to form a habit. But here's the truth. It doesn't. Modern research tells a different story. A study led by Dr. Philippa Lally found that habit formation can take anywhere from 18 to 254 days, with an average of 66, which means 30 days isn't the finish line, it's the launch pad. So why does it still work so well? Because your brain loves repetition. Every time you take intentional action, even something small, your brain starts rewiring itself. At first, that change takes conscious effort. But do it long enough, and it becomes automatic. It moves from the decision-making part of your brain into the habit center, the part that doesn't ask, should I? It just does. And there's another sneaky psychological trick, the fresh start effect. Ever feel super motivated on the first of the month, your birthday, or even a random Monday? That's your brain craving a reset. A 30-day challenge taps right into that. It feels like a clean slate, a new chapter. It gives you permission to begin again, which is often all we really need. On top of that, there's the power of commitment. Just saying, I'm doing this for 30 days, writing it down, sharing it, even just whispering it to yourself, activates a kind of internal accountability. The promise becomes real. And suddenly, the scary idea of changing your entire life forever becomes something way more manageable. Just today, then tomorrow, then the next. The reason most people never change isn't because they're lazy, it's because they're overwhelmed. But 30 days, that feels possible. It's short enough to lower your resistance, but long enough to build momentum. You see real progress, you feel it, you track it. That feedback loop is addictive in the best way. And here's the final shift. Somewhere along the way, your mindset flips. What used to be a should do becomes a must do. It's no longer negotiable. It's part of you now. That's the quiet magic of a challenge like this. It doesn't just change your habits, it changes who you believe you are. So no, a 30-day challenge isn't a gimmick. It's one of the most psychologically powerful tools we have for change. And when used with intention, it doesn't just improve your life, it resets it. The world is waking up. What was once a niche conversation in the self-help aisle is now a global movement. The personal development industry has exploded, valued at over $44 billion in 2022, and expected to more than double to $108 billion by 2034. That's not just growth. That's a revolution in how people view themselves and their potential. From North America, currently leading with over 35% of the market, to Asia Pacific, which is rising fast with a growth rate of over 7% year after year, people everywhere are chasing transformation. The reason? We're realizing that mental health, fulfillment, and purpose aren't luxuries, they're necessities. Behind this boom is something deeper, a desire to become. Coaching, mindset training, skill building, they're no longer reserved for corporate retreats or elite athletes. Thanks to digital platforms, personal growth is now available to anyone with Wi-Fi and a will to change. We're in the age of accessible evolution. Whether you're learning to manage your mindset, break old habits, or finally build that version of yourself you've always dreamed of, there's a system, a course, or a challenge for that. But let's keep it real. Not everyone who starts a challenge finishes it. The truth is, transformation isn't just about showing up. It's about showing up with intention. Take the world of prop firm trading, for example, an arena that demands extreme discipline. Success rates there hover around 5 to 10%. Why? Because pressure, consistency, and precision are hard. It's a great reminder that change requires more than enthusiasm. It requires grit. Even in more life or death scenarios like addiction recovery, the relapse rate sits between 40 to 60%. Not because people are weak, but because transformation is a process, not a one-off event. And that's exactly why a 30-day challenge is powerful. It's not the final step, it's the first one. It proves to your brain and your body that change is possible. But what happens after day 30? That's where the real journey begins. Still, despite the stats, people do change. They transform their minds, their routines, and their entire lives, and often it starts with a single decision. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be." Read that again. We are not our past. We are our patterns. And as Will Durant once reminded us, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. You don't have to wait for a new year, a rock bottom, or someone else's permission. Growth happens the moment you choose it, again and again. Just like Maslow said, one can choose to go back toward safety or forward toward growth. Growth must be chosen again and again. Fear must be overcome again and again. And here's something to remember. We can't become what we need to be by remaining what we are. That's Oprah. And she's right. Whether you're starting small or going all in, the most important thing is that you start. Because as George Eliot so powerfully put it, it is never too late to be who you might have been. This isn't about perfection. It's about momentum. Don't just go through life, grow through it. And above all, remember, life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Now, let's get to the part that matters most. The blueprint. The exact steps you'll take to go from who you are now to someone unrecognizable in the best possible way. But before you start ticking boxes or downloading trackers, pause. Transformation begins with truth. Ask yourself, who am I ready to leave behind? Be brutally honest. What habits, mindsets, or toxic cycles are no longer welcome in the next chapter of your life? Maybe it's procrastination. Maybe it's negative self-talk. Maybe it's the version of you that plays small, avoids discomfort, and breaks promises to yourself. Name it. Because clarity kills confusion, and this process starts by burying the old you. Then visualize the new you. What does unrecognizable actually look like? Picture yourself 30 days from now, stronger, sharper, more grounded. What's changed? Your energy, your confidence, your discipline? Envision that across every dimension. Physical, mental, emotional, professional, and relational. Because the clearer your target, the stronger your aim. Now set your goals and make them SMART. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. I want to get healthier isn't enough. Try. I will work out for 30 minutes, 5 times a week. Or I will journal every morning for 10 minutes before checking my phone. Clarity turns intention into action. Next, choose one core area to focus on. Yes, just one. Don't try to master everything at once. Change loves simplicity. Whether it's your fitness, your mindset, your productivity, or your creativity, commit to one key transformation and build from there. Holistic change will follow, but focus is what gets you off the ground. Then, define your non-negotiables. These are small, daily actions that you commit to no matter what. Rain or shine. Good day or bad. These actions become your anchor. 10 minutes of meditation. 30 minutes of movement. Writing 250 words. Drinking 2 liters of water. One action, repeated daily, is more powerful than 10 actions done once. But don't just rely on willpower. That's where most people slip. Instead, design your environment to help you win. Remove temptation. Keep distractions out of reach. If your goal is to read more, keep your book on your pillow. If you want to cut sugar, don't bring it home. Make the right actions easier and the wrong ones harder. Now, how do you stay fired up? Start by tracking your progress. Whether it's a simple checklist, a journal entry, or a habit tracking app, seeing your consistency builds confidence. Every checkmark is proof. I'm doing this. Celebrate your small wins. Too often, we chase the big goal and ignore the tiny victories that carry us there. Give yourself credit. Acknowledge effort, not just outcome. And reflect often. What's working? What's not? What lessons are you learning from the process itself? Above all, change your mindset. You're not doing this to prove you're perfect, you're doing it to grow. So embrace discomfort. Treat challenges as teachers. When it gets hard, and it will, remind yourself, this is what transformation feels like. This blueprint isn't just theory, it's how people change their lives. One decision. One day, one challenge at a time. And if you follow it with heart, focus, and consistency, 30 days from now you won't just feel different, you'll be unrecognizable. So, you've made it. 30 days. You've shown up. You've pushed through resistance, redefined your limits, and caught a glimpse of the person you were always meant to be. But now comes the question most people never ask. What happens next? See, a 30-day challenge is not the finish line. It's the runway. The real power isn't in what you did, it's in who you became while doing it. And now, the mission is simple. Don't lose that person. Because when the challenge ends and the hype fades and the tracker is full, What stays behind is the discipline you built, the habits you hardwired, and the identity you started to shift. This is the moment where a challenge becomes a lifestyle. The secret? Integration. You don't need to do 50 things to stay transformed. You just need to protect the few habits that sparked your change. Keep them small. Keep them sacred. What started as a commitment becomes a part of your rhythm, your normal, your new default. And if you're hungry for more, and trust me, you will be, then stack another challenge. Set a new 30-day intention. Maybe you conquered fitness. Now it's time to level up your mindset, or your creativity, or your relationships. Think of each 30-day sprint as a layer, a brick in the foundation of the life you're building, one challenge at a time. But here's the real truth. There is no final version of you. There's always a next evolution. Because growth is a lifelong game, and it's not linear. It's messy. It's beautiful. It's filled with setbacks, breakthroughs, detours, and unexpected wins. But that's the point. You're not supposed to arrive. You're supposed to evolve. So if you're still waiting, still doubting, still wondering if this challenge is really worth it, let me leave you with this. The only regret you'll have is not starting today. Not starting before the year ends. Not starting when you had the chance to rise. Not giving yourself the shot to become the person you know you're capable of being. Because 30 days from now, you could still be where you are. Or you could be standing in front of the mirror thinking, I don't even recognize who I used to be, and I never want to go back. The choice is yours. Start today, or regret it by 2025. So let's bring it all together. What if I told you that everything can change? Not in 5 years, not someday, but in the next 30 days. That the power to reinvent your habits, your mindset, and your identity isn't in some book or guru. It's already inside you, waiting, right now. Because that's what a 30-day challenge truly is. A portal. A gateway between who you've been and who you're ready to become. It's not about perfection. It's about direction. It's about choosing to rise on ordinary days with extraordinary commitment and prove to yourself what you're truly capable of. And here's the truth. You don't need permission. You don't need to wait for the new year, the right mood, or rock bottom. You just need a decision. One choice that says, I've had enough of being stuck. I'm ready to evolve. Because the future version of you, the one with unshakable confidence, mental clarity, physical energy, emotional resilience, purpose, passion, and presence, isn't some fantasy. That version is real. That version is waiting. And they are closer than you think. You don't get there by wishing. You get there by walking. One day, one choice, one challenge at a time. So here it is, your invitation. Start now, start messy, start scared, but whatever you do, start. Your future is already calling. Will you answer?